Welcome back to BattleCat. As you're going to see today, we are not in the Splatoon universe. Today, we're in the world of Minecraft. I'm going to be showcasing my Minecraft world that I've abandoned. I haven't touched this since July. It's been practically nearly 5 months. It makes me very sad. I love this world. But there was just kind of a falling out with this. As mod updates started coming along and Moj started just rapid firing updates left and right, some mods started having compatibility problems. Some mods just fell behind on the updates because of the numerous behind the scenes code changes that they did, especially with structures. On Fabric, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place now because who knows if most structures is ever going to see the light of day on anything past 118 at this point. It doesn't look like it. The developer is having a little bit of trouble there. And there were some create bugs that I found with things like filters not working and stuff like that, and that led to some issues. Alright everybody, post-production BattleCat here. I want to showcase the bug that I'm talking about with the create mod that leads to this problem. So basically what you need to do is you need to just set up belts accordingly so you can have a tunnel on, and then when you put it on, you get split output. So in this way we have one tunnel that goes straight, one tunnel that darts off to the side in one area. Plop the belt right there where you get multiple outputs, one going straight, one going in another direction, and then set it to force round robin, like so. In this situation, you're basically going to alternate out one put and then alternate to the other one, back and forth continuously, so you can basically shove items in different directions. So in this case, we put the apple on it, it goes out to the side, and now it's going to go out straight. And then it's going to keep alternating between the two outputs. So now it's going to go out this side again. And if we put another item on there, it will continue that trend, and this one will come out straight, just like that. And if we put it back on, it will come out the side again. So it's going to alternate. It's the whole point of forced round robin. But now here's the fun part. So here's a filter. We're going to put coal in it, set it to deny, and now we're going to put it on this side. Logically, you would think coal wouldn't go out that side, and every other item would follow the alternate path. So let's try it out. Just like that, coal does not go out the straight output because it's set denied on that side because of that filter. It's working as intended there. Still forced round robin. Here's what happens though when we put items that are not in the deny filter. This was working at one point, and now you're going to see it not work. It's going to basically act as if it only recognizes the side that the filter is on, even though the filter is really only filtering one item, and it's doing a negative in the sense that the one item in the filter list won't go out that side. So, in theory, this should only block coal, but instead it kind of just screws everything up. As you go to see in a second here, so now let's put an apple on there. What do you think is going to happen? Oh, okay, it went straight. All right, no problem. Now the round robin thing should make it go out the other side on the next cycle, correct? This is where you're wrong. So watch what happens when we put it on again. It comes out straight again. It did not go on the other output. And it's going to keep coming out straight. It's not alternating. It doesn't matter what item we put on it. If we put the gapple on there, it's doing the same thing. It's going straight. Oh. See, it's forcing itself out one output. This deny filter is basically blocking items it shouldn't let through correctly, but then it's basically like superseding any other logic that's built into the filter and brass tunnel objects, and saying any object that's not a denialist filter is implied to be an explicit allow. It's kind of like what it's behaving. So it's like if you put an allowed filter instead, only items in that allowed filter will only go out that side. So the deny filter is working as a deny properly for the items you want, but at the same time it's working like an explicit allow for basically whatever isn't denied, which is wrong. I don't believe it should work like that. That's why I logged the bug. Now, I logged it on the Fabric version. Trophy, as Jay said, this is probably a problem that's upstream. I checked at Forge. I installed it, tried it out there. It was, in fact, also not working there. So I concluded it was, in fact, upstream. Logged the bug. And before making this video on my Minecraft world, I actually went back and checked. And there's been no activity on it since I logged it. So I have no idea if it's being worked on, if it's going to be worked on, if it's intended or not. I don't think it's intended because when I was building the factory in that world, it was clearly working, so something broke along the way. I have no idea. I'll revisit this problem when we come back to this world down the line, but for all intents and purposes, that's the problem. So here we go, going down the back, where we have all these cool porch-like builds, like a little hot barbecue scene, something like that, a pool. Over here we have our lava farm powered by Create with pumps and windmills with stalactites, and it looks like we're full too over here, so we might have to check the other side. But our better end pedestal enchanting areas over there, and we keep going down. Here's where an entrance to the quote-unquote mine is. It's a big giant like ravine. We were supposed to build an elevator but never got around to it, so let's check out the sheepy farm where they're eating some grass, and let's go down below. Did I even reactivate this? Look like it. Oh, yep, there's the car. I did reactivate this before it stopped playing, so the farm is working, which is good to see. If we continue, let's go to the pool. So here's the pool. We have a, with some lights and stuff like that. We have a diving board over here, and actually we get a good glimpse of the back of the house, which looks absolutely fantastic with shaders turned on. I like this modern design. I googled some modern architecture in Minecraft to kind of get some inspiration for this house, and came across this really interesting and neat roof concept that I found. I really liked it, so I kind of ended up remaking it and using it for this type of house and stuff like that, which ended up being cool. But yeah, if we go down here now, we actually will find our enchanting area, which is pretty ballrony. We got some better nether plants in here too to make it look delicious. And oh yeah, my trio of cats, I forgot about them. But you know what, let's get this enchanted elytra that is enchanted courtesy of the better enchanting pedestal area we have over here. And here we have our honey farm. We have a ton of bees. It is a little laggy because our create contraptions are all the way to the right in that gigantic create area, so they don't really play well with shaders yet. Looks like that's going to be changed in the future, and they're getting really close to it, which is great, so we can get some baller performance with the mods, but it is what it is for now. But that is our honey farm, and let's continue this area. We have multiple paths down here, so it's not that hard. But yeah, it looks like the pump is full, so we're going to have to check the factory, but for now, it's getting really laggy, so I think we're going to have to turn shaders off in order to get through this area. So let's go ahead and do that. Check these little, pound fountain things where we have some tropical fish and some benches in. It's a pretty cool little place to sit down. Oh, I still have the mud there. That's supposed to... Forget what that was for. I was drying it. I think it's some, farming thing, but... Here's a little cooking hut. We have all sorts of supplies and food with cheesecake. And I believe down here we have our shroom farm, right? Yeah, here it is, our shroom farm with candlelight. With some immersive weathering bricks. Man, this just looks fantastic. It really does. I love the way this came out, how this looks, and I gotta tell you, I was a Minecraft purist when I started playing. I'm like, the most I'll ever run is Optifine. But other than that, I ran vanilla. I never believed in mods. I never even believed in the game. The only reason why I got into Minecraft is because my friends got tired of me bitching nonstop how I thought it was just a mainstream overrated game. They bought it for me just to get it to shut up, and I've loved it ever since. I've been playing it ever since. I do play it in these big waves, and then I kind of fall off for other things. Kind of happened here since I haven't touched this world in so long, but here's all our cool animal farms. We got cows, pigs, sheep. We have chickens and geese. It looks like our track might actually be overflowing with eggs because should be picking it up. But yeah, here we have some quail, turkey, pheasant, and all that good stuff over here. Courtesy of the Better Animals mod. But I'm actually curious now. I want to check the egg chest because I think I'm overflowing. Oh, I'm not overflowing. I must have disabled then the cart track that's underneath. I think there's a button here, right? Yeah, it's right here. Yep. But yeah, man, I really, really love this world. I kind of feel bad not having worked on it in so long. It's just so many things that were done in here. It's just so great. Like over here's our farming farm, I guess. We have tomatoes, cabbage, so lettuce. We have onions, carrots, rice too, and all that stuff over here, right? Carrots, wheat, lettuce, tomatoes over there. Yep. And over here we also take that wheat and we also have a bread farm. And this is a common thing that we made in this world. We use these giant item vaults with filters as our storage system, since with these filters you can kind of just set a number of the amount of item you want and then just plops it right out. You get what you want. And that's a foreshadowing for our giant storage building over here. But and the automation that Create allows you to do is just absolutely fantastic, man. It's really great. And yeah, here we have our sugarcane farm, which I think may be a little glitchy since I kind of did some testing in this world at one point, so I don't even know if it's working, but yeah, it's using that pulley system and stuff. But oh, there it goes. It looks like it kind of glitched because it kind of looked like it shot forward. Yeah, I might actually to go look at this again because it looks like it even stopped a little. It's too soon. I thought I had this working when I actually finished it. Something must have busted somewhere with it. I'm not sure what happened, but I love this part of create with the redstone signals and stuff like that because bam, on and off like a real light switch. But yeah, here's our gigantic, and I mean gigantic storage building. This is named the Coliseum because it's really friggin' huge. And the fun part is, it's not even complete enough because we can't even fit everything in it. We only fit the important stuff. But oh yeah, speaking of important stuff, we have our trusty schematic cannon over here that we've used for some builds that were really big, so we just went, resource binging. But yeah, let's just continue on. And over here we have both the lava pumping area and the sheep conveyor belt that goes into our storage system because it is auto-sorted. So basically anything in this world will end up not only in storage, but will end up automatically sorted. So we don't really have to do much of anything for it. We just put it in the system and it figures out on its own. And as you can see, we're using the cool neon sign there to call it Coliseum. And this is our storage building, where, as you can tell, we are item vault crazy. We have a little book there that will allow you to see what's on every floor to describe it. But here we have basically all the important stuff. We have all our important ores on this side. And we have, I think on this floor, we also have dyes and sand. We have some, I want to say, food items too on this floor. I'm going to have to go check the sides over here. But for now, on this side over here, so these are all our ores, our lapis and that stuff. Over here we have our terracotta, our concrete, all that stuff, our dyes over here, as well as sand. And this thing, I think we may even have some create stuff on this part already too. Yeah, we have some create alloys and sheets and stuff like that. But other than that, some quartz and copper. Again, all our ores are over here. So our emerald, our diamond, some ruby, even the customized ores and stuff like that. Here we have our fuel source. So we have a really big item vault for fuel because it has coal, has anthracite, and what is it called? Lignite, right? Yeah, lignite. So this is from Biomes You'll Go. So all our fuel sources are in one place because we don't really need to separate them out. And over here we have food items and drops, I think, right? Let's check. Yep. So we have some food items, some carrots, melons. We have bread here again. We actually might be able to get rid of this since we did make a dedicated bread farm and bread item vault for it. So we could probably axe this. But yeah, we have some seeds here. We have some other drops too that are important, like nautilus shells and all the other cool stuff over there too over here. Membranes, gunpowder. And here's how the system works. So this is our gunpowder. So if we set it to 5, quickly flick the switch, reset it real quick, we get 5. So we asked for 5 gunpowder and we got 5. It makes it really cool to use create to kind of get this fancy input output, and you can just say I need X of these amount and just go to the filter, set it to X amount and you'll get it right out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we have multiple floors. So here's all our lighting that's filtered, vanilla Minecraft, all the mods. Over here we have candles and stuff like that, all these other lanterns and all these other types. And down below is where we have every single wood type. So all our logs, stairs, planks, even strip logs, I think. I don't remember, maybe we have all the strip logs, but we have everything down here. All the wood types in the game, vanilla, mods, and damn Enderman always leaving their crap behind. You always leave it alone in that darn storage building. But yep, over here we have all of our log types. So whenever we need something, we just go ahead and put it in the system. We literally have the International Bank of Minecraft wood over here. And we actually needed to make a separate mini floor, which we did on this side because we actually can't store more than that, because over here we actually have where the mining trench ravine thingy is right under here. So unfortunately, this wall is the farthest we can go, but it ended up being just enough for storing our stairs and the rest of our wood. But if we keep going, we're gonna go to the next floor, and here is where we have all the important create items. So your gearboxes, your shafts, your gears, your cogwheels, all that stuff, all the create stuff. We have some, other blocks, some things over here like stairs and bricks, those various types and things. Here we have some other things like prismarine, some utensil blocks. Here we have you know, the workplace blocks that the villagers use that you can also use and stuff like that. So we kind of store everything there. And yeah, if we keep going up, you know, we have basically everything just sorted. We have our mods over here. We have all the glass types that we would have in the game. Over here we have some more modding blocks from like better and better Nether, because those are the ones we're going to get a lot, especially when it comes to resource exploration. And it continues up here because there's just a ton of blocks, man. We really needed a place for this, and we kept building and building. And here we have a floor within a floor because it has every sapling in the game. We had to use catwalks and make an even additional floor because there were just that many saplings that the mods give us between bombs, you'll go, and everything else that we have on here. And it was daunting to do. But let's get out of the storage building and eat some more because we're using up some stamina, and go to our storage chest, where in here you basically dump whatever you need. So like right there, we dumped the gravel and we dumped the rotten flesh. It's going to go in the sorting mechanism system, and it's going to automatically put it in the item vault it belongs to, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. It's just auto magic. Because if we go down here, well, first of all, before going downstairs, here we have our overflow chest, which, ironically, the overflow is overflowing because there's just too many items in this world between all the mods. And here we have a cool little, like, parking area between, like, for the back of the factory, you know, it's where you're parking, where there's unloading. There's, like, a little garage door there to make it look, you know, more industrial and stuff like that. But down below is where we have the sorting stuff. This is where create really shines. This is up top where the chest would dump items down the chutes and onto the belts. Down there, the farm, all the excess items that are composted and turned into bone meal would come down here on these belts and not only get sorted, but also get split. So it goes into the dye farm we have down there. But yeah, every single item vault is powered by this sorting system and filters, and it goes all the way up to the tippity top. And yes, this took absolutely forever to do. It took forever to find resources. It took forever to make. It was a humongous task. But I am so happy this came to fruition, because this makes life so much easier. You just go on a binging spree of resource gathering. You just plop them in the chest at the top there. Everything just gets auto-sorted. It gets auto-logged. It's fantastic. You don't have to worry about it. I really do think that down the line in the history of this game, Create is going to probably be one of the top 10 mods of all time, because it's just so powerful. You know what, let's go over here, because this is our little Halloween-y, scary in a way, a little spooky-ish, little brewing place. So we have a little cool terraform back here too, but this is where we use Create to create all of the potions you can brew in this world, including some of the modded ones. So that's what we have here. So we have basically a fluid tank for every potion, because they can all store potions, so you can make them, fill them up, store as much of the potion as you want, and then you can get them right back out. So it's a cool way to farm and store all the potions. There's just a little bit in there because this was made towards the tail end of when I almost stopped playing. But yeah, if we look out here, you can see the little like pond thing that I terraformed for where we can get water out and pump it when we need it to make potions if our tank starts getting low. There's the door. Alright, here's the door. It's a little hidden in between, but we have a little nether wart farm over there growing, and yeah, here's the backyard. Here's the pond with the hose pulley that we can drop and raise when we need it. We are terraformed cool little semi-small waterfall, and all these cool plants and things we did back here to kind of keep with the spooky and, you know, mystic vibe of potion brewing and all that cool stuff. But yeah, this is a pretty cool little neat house. I think it's time to go to the factory at this point. And yeah, let's go inside and get a tour of the mammoth factory processing station. Over here we have the press and mixing area where we press nuggets and all the other items that would otherwise need to be pressed before we can turn them into blocks. So anything that's made into an ingot will get pressed over here. On this side we have our crushing and processing station for cobblestone, gravel, sand, ore processing, all that type of production that we would have on this side. In fact, we actually have multiple crushing wheels over here on this side that we would do for that. You know, all sorts of cool things, because we did customize the Create config just a smidge because they did kind of nerf the ability of washing and crushing a little bit, and we kind of put it back to those levels pre-nerf because kind of want there to be a point to all this stuff. But yeah, over here we'd get all our ores and ingots and we press them into blocks. The ones that aren't pressed into blocks would go on and get pressed into sheets. But yeah, over there, all the things like ingots, not ingots, nuggets, stuff like that would get pressed into ingots so then they could go into the rest of the system. We split some other items down to be processed on the other side where we do andesite and some other create things over here. But yeah, here's our crushing station. We gotta be careful to not actually get crushed by the wheels because wheels will take no second to kill you. But over here, yeah, we crush our cobblestone generator, ores, we process and create sand and clay and other cool stuff on this section of here. We actually have the cobblestone generator back there, as you can see, that giant long length of lava that actually creates the cobblestone we need to power the iron farm, because when we crush cobblestone and get gravel and wash it, we have a chance of getting nuggets. And the cool thing is, if you go up here on these stairs in this chest, any raw ore you mine, so anything you mine with silk touch and you get the actual ore block, you put them in here, it'll get crushed, it'll give you the raw form of that ore. Like if you crush diamond ore, it'll give you diamonds. And then with the config tweaks we made, when you wash it, there's a minuscule chance, again, we don't want to be too overpowered, that you'll get a smidge more out of it. And for example, you might get, instead of 1 diamond, maybe 2, something like that. But we go off the rules that Create made with fortune and stuff like that, so we're not too overpowered and things like that. But it makes value to this whole giant system, which can be stopped, as you can tell from that button, because each station has a stop button. And the whole entire plant, so the whole entire factory, has an emergency stop in case of bugs that we encounter, problems, or we want to make any changes. We stop the power room from working. Well, the power room keeps going, but we stop actually all the gearboxes and the shafts from rotating by pressing the emergency stop. So the power room, for all intents and purposes, doesn't do anything. It runs, but it doesn't really power anything because it gets stopped because of this emergency stop. So it's a nifty, cool little trick to kind of do an off and on when we need to do work or we need to fix something or things like that. Over here we use the blasting part of Create, so we can not just automate blasting certain things, but we can make our own stuff. And moving on, we have a precision mechanism assembly area. This was actually found on YouTube. I'm not taking credit for this design. I found this on YouTube when searching for things to automate this, because precision mechanism assemblies, they kind of annoying to make, so I felt like automating that would have been a smart thing to do. If you go up here, you just have this little chest, plop the items you need to make a mechanism in there, it'll get made. And over here we just have this whole entire catwalk system for every place, so you can kind of see the status of what's going on at any given moment, see the flow of items, make sure everything is working. Like over here, our cobblestone our gravel in excess will go into the concrete area over there, which we should look at right here. So yeah, all the excess gravel that we make will get fed over here and get made into concrete powder. We make all the different types of concrete powder in here, and they actually go down below where there's another washing station, which actually transforms the powder into real concrete, which is pretty cool. And yep, so again, all these sides, they all get shoveled down below. They all make every flavor of concrete, so we're covered there. We're covered with dyes. We have a cactus farm over here that we don't have working, as you can tell. There's a missing block there. We actually took the rotating block, I forget what it's called, but we took that out to not make it run, because we stopped the automation because of that bug that we had before with filter. So we kind of stopped a lot of the automation for that, because it kind of does break a few things. But here's the cactus farm. This cool little mechanism, which I also found on YouTube, uses a cool little contraption over here, as you can tell, with observers and redstone signals to make dye. We funnel the dye down here, we mix it to make all the other dyes, and it looks like we're already overflowing. I want to say this is the filter problem, because the excess should be sent off. So more than likely it's just a deny filter causing problems. I don't think I really fixed it down here. But yeah, that's the washing station that will wash the concrete powder that comes from above, turn it into concrete, and then send it down into the storage processing belts and all that to get auto sorted and to get put into the item vaults. And it will also take dyes that get made and shoot half the dyes into storage and the other half into the concrete maker. We have a cool little rotating gizmo thingy here to take advantage of the better nether plants to give us dyes that we would otherwise be a real pain to get. We have cocoa bean stuff there too. Let's go to the power room. This is where The expandable gearboxes are set up to allow us to power everything. It's a bit confusing. I did put some signs to explain some stuff, but this has been made for future proofing to be able to expand. And yeah, everything's in here. It's expandable. They're all controlled by independent speed controllers. You can add more shafts to the gearboxes if you want to send power off to somewhere else. It's pretty nifty, I would say. Let's get out of here and actually review the true brains. Well, not brains, I guess it would be the root of the base, which is our double kelp farm. Actually, it's not really a double kelp farm because it's technically a triple kelp farm. Because we're using the smelting blaster trick here, where you constantly use the wrench with the little doohickey that goes back and forth. I forget what it's called. I haven't played this in so long. But we're using that infinite energy maker where the wrench keeps taking out an item in and out, so it's infinitely smelting. And we do it on both ends, so that way we can have full stress power from the furnace engine. And we don't do it down here. Here we have a traditional furnace engine with a tree farm over here, because this tree farm we actually use to power our blaze burners, which are used in the mixing part of the factory, so we can do things like bronze and stuff like that, because you require blaze burners for that. But this is a traditional kelp farm. We just cook kelp, so it turns into dried kelp. Half of it powers itself, so it can create rotational power to use for the base, so use for stress units. And the other half goes back up to make sure that the upper part, since it's going to be going much faster, never runs out of fuel. And all of this leads to a tremendous amount of output. We don't have to worry about using kelp to power the blaze burners doing this way, which we were doing before, and it wasn't enough. We actually kept running out of fuel. But this leads us to having 90-something thousand units of stress available to power basically everything, because we actually do have an additional 8,000 from the windmill we have. But what makes me sad is furnace engines are dead. That's another thing that demotivates me, that this is dead, because the new Create update, as awesome as it is, we now have to use boilers. So furnace engines are dead, and I have to redo this whole entire thing. And I'm kind of space limited because this is under that windmill on that hill section. And I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Ugh. But, I mean, yeah, I don't look forward to that. I'm going to have to do it eventually because I don't want to abandon this world completely. But I'm not looking forward to doing that. So let's just continue on, and I don't want to lose thought over that tremendous task that awaits and go over here. Actually, you know what? We need to capture, we need to switch our boots for these special Create boots, because these allow us to walk on conveyor belts and not get moved by them. So back here, basically, we get this lava tank, so everything is filled, just as I thought. But the lava tank pumps here with gravel and flint to make andesite, and we make gravel from our cobblestone generator, which we can also stop there with that button. But this will make andesite, which half of it will go into storage, but the other half goes here to make, what the heck's it called? Right, andesite alloy, right? Where is it? Andesite alloy? Yep, andesite alloy. So we make our andesite alloys here too. That will go into storage, so we always have a stream of alloys available to us whenever we need to make, fancy Create objects and all those blocks and stuff like that. So that's what we do over here. But I think it's time to leave the factory and just get a general look of the whole place, like the house from the front. You know, again, I really love to design the house with the roof, the modern aesthetic. You know, we have a cool little, like, beachy resort mini area in front of the house over here with a palm tree and some, like, beach lawn chairs and stuff like that. We have this gigantic shroom tree over here. What's it called? It's a better entry. What the heck's it called? It's a mushroom something, right? No, it wasn't a mushroom. It wasn't a mushroom, was it? What is it? No, it's glow something, I think, right? Glow? Yeah, there it is, top right. Yeah, glow shroom. Yeah, these things are giant, but they look amazing, especially at night. Oh, these things look absolutely fabulous. But yeah, this is the house from the front. I really like the modern touch. The arches there at the wall columns, the slanting roof, the double slanting roof. You know, it really gives it this awesome modern vibe, and it really looks really catching from a distance because you can really see all the aesthetics from afar and basically at any angle. Oh yeah, this cool thing. This is a return pedestal for a fabric waystone, so we can actually do things like teleporting massive distances. I don't want to rely on it too much, but it is a pretty cool thing. And yeah, there's the storage building from afar, but this This looks very unfinished. It was finished at a certain point. This is basically our world map monument. So when you arrive at the base, like the first thing you see under your feet is basically a map of the world, of all the explored areas. And since I've added mods through the life cycle of this world, I've reset chunks in this world way more times than I can count. And so this is as much as I've re-explored since resetting those chunks, which isn't really a lot. Which is a shame, but at the same time, I kind of haven't really played this in a long time. But yeah, this was supposed to be our world map monument landmark type of cool thing, which you can actually access from over here, from this cool little future, better end looking area, where we hollowed out the bottom of the glowstone tree, and we made this cool little like walking area with its own map. Looks like when I reset chunks, my Woodland Explorer map broke. Because now that's useless. That's a shame. I'll have to worry about that when I come back to this world. But yeah, just go down there. You can just plop your map down, add to the little cool area there that we got. You know, we gave this hollowed out tree type of vibe. I think it was perfect. And since we made this little, you know, futuristic, other dimension-y metal area, I think the metal area here looks really, really good. Especially considering we have this gigantic overlooking island that was actually inspired by one of the floating castles that's in most structures for Fabric. And this is our floating island that leads to the Eden Ring portal, which is another cool mod made by the Better X team. It's another dimension mod. It's great. I really can't wait to see what happens in the future with this mod. I'm really expecting big things. But if we go down below, we have our aquarium. And oh no, we have phantoms.
A few moments later.
Alright, we're just going to move on because for some reason whenever I enter the aquarium we keep crashing. So we're going to look at our villagers and our custom village we made. And as you look, Johnny 2x4, he's pretty sure, what do we make him? Be Johnny 2x4 to play upon the joke. We made him, what the heck is he? Alright, Fletcher. We made him Fletcher, but here's Ed. And yes, the name of our world is Creaky Peach because it's one big Ed and Eddie reference. Ignoring the fact that that's not an Ed and an Eddie character, but I couldn't really figure out a good role for a Sarah or a Ginny. So they kind of don't really exist, but everyone else is basically an Ed and an Eddie meme. We have, you know, all the important villager types you would need. Your weaponsmith, your blacksmith, your Fletcher, your cartographer. We have 2 librarians, actually. You know, all those cool little things, you know, we gave them all each their own house with a smidge of personality. So if we go over here to our, pretty sure the cartographer's here, right? Yep, our cartographer's here. We actually named him Merly because that's a Paper Mario reference, because that's a fantastic game, Paper Mario 64, one of the best games of all time. Yeah, we gave each one of them their own house, their own little personality, because we have the mods and the cool blocks to do it with roofing and stuff like that, so the houses look cool. We have this big giant library inn thing too that we used the schematic cannon on. Granted, we logged all the resources ourselves, but you know, we did use the schematic cannon for this because it's really huge. But thankfully enough, because of the falling tree mod, mining wood is exceptionally easy in this world, which is great. But yeah, we gave the librarians a ballin' house. So Great Nano and Marion have one hell of a house. I mean, come on, Great Nano. I mean, Rolf talks a big game about his great Nano, right? He talks a big game about him. He's supposed to be this hotshot, so we gave him a hotshot house. But yeah, you know, we gave him a big inn. We have a kind of a picnicky little relaxation area down there. Oh, looks like a horse wandered all the way up here. I guess that's pretty cool. But yeah, you know, we made this custom village. Let's actually go up and out of here. Just get an overhead view real quick with all the customized saplings we planted to give the area a little bit of personality. But now what we're gonna do is go down our path that little by little I try to do this thing of transforming. So the little by little you walk down the path, you start seeing differences, you start seeing some nethery-like things. Because this goes down to our nether portal that, kind of, you know, the more I look at this, the more I keep saying it's a little bit of like, I don't know, graphics overload with the amount of stuff we have in here. But with shaders on, this looks really cool. Yeah, I love the way this area looks with shaders, the way everything just glistens and shines and all this cool stuff. But if we go to the nether real quick, just a sneak peek. The biome that we actually spawn in the nether is really, really cool. It's one of those custom shroom biomes. And yeah, it looks fantastic. The shaders in here look really great. The lighting is absolutely fantastic. And because Create's not running on this side, our frame rate is excellent. We don't have to worry about slowdowns. But yeah, exploring the Nether with all these mods is really cool, and moths always fly into the portal at night and they always get stuck in that corner. It's pretty friggin' hilarious, actually. But let's go back to the overworld. And yeah, I love this area. It may be a little exaggerated, the amount of stuff we put down there, but it looks great. And you know, I'm actually going to leave shaders on because we're starting to get far enough away from the create contraptions that our frame rate is starting to improve a bit. Let's actually go up top and fly really high and get a final look at the world. Right here is actually our creeper farm that we put all the way up here. So we can farm gunpowder. I actually want to add some automated rails or something like that. Maybe trains would be a good thing here. So we can bring the gunpowder back to our base and put it into automatically put it into the sorting stuff. So that might actually be a project. It might be the first project we work on coming back to this world once we stabilize and fix a couple things. But let's land on this Eden Ring Shroom and just give one final look at our beautiful world. I'm so proud of this world, and I'm honestly sad that I stopped playing it. But I have that kind of problem with Minecraft. I play Minecraft in waves, or I play just that as my main game, and then either because of a bug happens or a mod doesn't update, I just move on to something else, and I kind of forget about it. And that kind of happened with this world, which is, you know, a darn shame because I love this world. I love the seed. I took a long time to find the seed with this hilly top area that I was thinking. And we have so much space here. It's such a great view. We can access so many different parts of the world from here. And it just looks fantastic. And I really, really want to save this world because to not play this world because a mod may not update anymore. I mean, how many mods have come and gone in Minecraft over the years? I mean, we move on, we live, right? So to not play this world because of a mod or because of a bug in a mod or anything like that, I kind of feel bad about it. So I kind of want to come back to this world, but I think we're going to put a halt on that. We're definitely coming back to this world. We're definitely going to continue it. But what I really want to do is the in-between lands, because I've seen that mod many times over the years. It's always piqued my curiosity. And now I've made up my mind that my first Minecraft series on this channel is we're going to look to survive 100 days in the between lands and see how far we can go in that mod, because it looks spectacular. That dimensional mod is really awesome looking. It looks super cool. It's super interesting and diverse. I really like the concepts behind it, so we're definitely doing that next. But this world, you are not lost, Creaky Peach. We will be coming back to you. We will be building more awesome things in here. We'll be fixing some stuff. Hopefully we'll get some new features in here going, especially when we make the move to newer mod versions eventually. But yeah, that is the best Minecraft world I ever made that I unfortunately abandoned. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next one.